How would you describe yourself as a filmmaker?
How would I describe myself as a filmmaker? Very lucky. A lucky filmmaker to still be in the business after all these years and all the changes that have come down the pike.
Have you considered the idea to make some kind of different films as social matters, for example, or something more insight or more personal?
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody would like to make those kind of films. The problem is that you can only make what they let you make unless you want to fund it yourself, which is really dumb. If you're successful in one genre, then obviously that's your calling card. And when somebody has another one of those kind of pictures to make, you're the one they go to. Now, I would just as soon make a romantic comedy, but people say, well, how could he have any romance in his soul? Look at the stuff he makes. So, you get to make what you get to make, and if you enjoy working, as I do, then go ahead and make stuff. But I do have one rule, which is I don't make anything I wouldn't go see, because I think if you start to make pictures that you're not interested in, you're going to make bad movies.
Perfect. What do you think that movies as Gremlins or Aullidos are today good movies, okay? Because actually these movies was thought more onto mainstream, okay, or to the more commercial. But actually, 50 years later, it's actually cool movies. What do you think it's
Well, I don't actually have any idea how come that happened, but I do believe that when movies are new, the way that they're received is not necessarily an indication of their actual quality. A lot of movies that we love, movies like The Wizard of Oz and Maltese Falcon, It's a Wonderful Life, these were pictures that were flops when they came out. These were pictures that got bad reviews. Psycho got bad reviews. People said, oh, it's minor, Hitchcock's not important. Well, they just couldn't see the forest for the trees at the moment. I mean, the fact is we look back at these movies now and we see how great they were. And I think that it takes, like wine, it takes a little time for a movie to age, and you can't really quite tell what the worth of a movie is until some years have passed and you can see it out of its original context.
Te preguntas por lo del John Sayles. ¿Cómo recuerdas su época de colaboración con el guionista John Sayles?
How do you remind your age working with John Sayles as a script?
Well, I just saw John yesterday, as a matter of fact. He came to a screening of The Hole at the New York Film Festival. John was, I was lucky to get in on the ground floor with John because he had never done a screenplay before he did Toronto. And then I got him to do The Howling. And actually, over the years, we've worked together a couple of times on movies that didn't get made. He's a terrific guy, great writer. Hung around on the set of Piranha to watch how movies were made because he was about to go off and make his own movie. And then he became a fiercely independent director. He finances his own movies. He doesn't make movies for the studios. He makes his own pictures because he doesn't like to be interfered with. He wants to make his own mistakes, which we all do. But not many of us can, the kind of movies I made, you just couldn't make independently. They were too expensive, too many special effects. But John's great.
Oh, perfect. What do you think about the current situation for the majors? Do you think it's good? What do you think about the future for the majors?
Well, the future for the majors is a little cloudy because they don't really know what's going on. They don't know what's going to happen. I mean, they've seen all these changes take place, and they've looked at the future and they don't know where the movies are going to be shown. They know that there will always be theaters because the kids will always need a place to get away from their parents. But they need to fill these theaters, 52 weeks a year. And movies don't make much money. Most movies are not profitable. In the old days, it was okay because they could make their money back from television, they could make it back from DVDs and VHSs. Well, now all those markets are drying up. And so it becomes a little more tricky to make a movie that makes money. So they're being very, very conservative about what they make. They only want to make sequels, they only want to make remakes, they only want to make pictures that people have heard of before, so they don't have to go to the trouble to explain what the movie's about. Unfortunately, that's a very stagnant way of working. I mean, you're not going to make any brilliant movies that you can make sequels to if all you're going to do is do remakes. So right now, I think there's a lot of uncertainty in the major studios. But the problem is there are no indie studios because the majors bought them all up and got kind of bored with them and dissolved. Made than ever, and there's more people who want to make them and have jobs, and so there's a lot of people out of work.
Entonces, por lo del secreto de por qué el Howling sigue siendo un clásico.
When are a remake from Gremlins 3D or something like that?
I'm sure there will be a Gremlins 3 or a remake of Gremlins. Probably be in 3D. I hope it's in real 3D and it's shot in 3D and not fake 3D. But there are no plans at the moment. I asked them a couple of months ago and they said they weren't planning.
What are the references for the directors from your generation? Because we know the references from the directors are now, like Lynch, Bergman, postmodernism.
Well, my generation is the old classics, you know, Bergman and Fellini and Ford and Kurosawa and Fox and Orson Welles, all those people. The new generation, I think it's people from my generation that they look to as, you know, the movies that they think of as classics, which I think is, you know, a little watered down from the old masters, people who actually had lives before they made movies instead of a group of people who just loved movies and made movies. It's, you know, I mean, there's some good work being done today, so, you know, who knows, maybe it's okay.
Can you say about next projects from Dante?
Sobre Matinee me gustaría saber qué recuerda del rodaje de la película en general.
And about Matinee, do you remember something special from the shot?
Well, Matinee was a movie that was very personal to me. I was the same age as the kids in the movie. I thought the world would end in 1962 one weekend. I lived in New Jersey. I didn't live in Florida. I didn't have a big filmmaker come to my town. I wish I did. But otherwise, it's very personal. All the props are mine. All the monster movie paraphernalia, the drawings on the wall, the posters, it's all mine. It's just, I went to the garage and just got them, you know. But it was a different era. I mean, we were all afraid the bomb was going to drop any minute. We thought if an airplane flew over, the bomb was going to fall, and we were going to be dead. And that weekend, we really thought we were going to be dead. So I made that movie out of my own memories, you know, and so it's very personal.
Next projects then?
Next projects are, I have like 5 different pictures going around with my name attached, but no money, because you have to get financing. In the old days, it was the studio offered you a job and you took it and they made the movie. Now, people come with a script, you like the script, they say, great, now we'll get the money. And so they go off and they, you know, and I have a couple of projects. I have a project about Roger Corman that is very funny, but I've been looking for money for it for like 4 years. You know, and you get a little bit of money here, and then money falls out here. You get an actor, and you get this money, and then they say, well, we don't really like that actor. We want a different actor, so we try to get another actor to get more money, and then that first money goes away. It's very dizzying.
¿Has podido ver el remake de Piraña y qué opinión le merece?
About the remake?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. What do you think about it? You can tell
It's fine. I mean, I ripped off Jaws. Why can't they rip off Toronto? It's okay with me.
Well, finish. Appreciate it for the time. And good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.